Sony's new PS2 VR headset is due next year and I'm truly hyped. But still, as with any new release, there is a chance of failure, so today I'm going to be highlighting what I think Sony needs to do to not royally screw this up. Let's first discuss the price tag, as obviously the price tag is going to be very important. Sony need to throw caution to the wind in terms of how they price it, especially considering that not every consumer will have a PlayStation 5. So this straightaway doubles the amount needed to buy the PlayStation VR 2 headset, and in comparison to the Meta Quest 2 or Pico 4, which can be picked up and do not need another system to be played in, it can throw consumers off. You feel me? What kind of American accent is that? Too British for this. We need an aggressive price tag from Sony to really compete with the Quest 2 and Pico 4 if they want their headset to take off. In my opinion, something between the 400 to max 500 would be ideal, and the fact the technology is better than the Quest 2, it can warrant that extra money if needed. But bearing in mind how popular the PS5 is, a price at this point could well be the tipping point for VR newcomers and current users to give the PSVR 2 a real try. Keeping at this price range would even offer temptation to the PC VR users, as overall, even if you have to get a PS5 on top of this, it is still cheaper than a PC VR focused setup. You know, it's that sweet spot that offers that high-end VR experience while still being competitive. Give me that. Now, the PSVR 2 is not a standalone, meaning you need to connect it to your PS5 with a wire. The likes of Meta Quest 2 offer users both wireless and wired functionality if they wanted to connect up to their PC and play the range of VR games available on Steam. From the previews I've seen, it looks like the wires do not get involved, do not ruin the overall experience. But the reality is, at some point, we need wireless support. Not only will this help appeal to the fans who want the mobility aspects offered by the Quest 2 and Pico 4, but even from a perception view, it could take away the USP of the likes of the Quest 2 and Pico 4 and bring that audience over. I presume this is what Sony wants to do, right? As a business, they want to bring over consumers from other competitors. But to be fair, I'm still indifferent to the use of wires with the PSVR 2, and until I go hands-on, it's hard for me to comment. But having both wireless and wired versions available, it just gives more options to the consumers, like the PlayStation 5 digital or this version. Hideaki Nishino, who is the Senior Vice President of Platform Experience at PlayStation, confirmed the PlayStation VR 2 will not be backwards compatible with the PlayStation VR 1. Which, by the way, I think makes complete sense, bearing in mind the VR tech used in the PSVR 1 is outdated compared to the V2. And yeah, if it means getting rid of this, in line for that, one concurs. But what do you guys think? As I know it's a bit of a sensitive subject. Before you shoot, I do understand the frustrations and the concerns of what Sony will do with the games which are available on the PSVR 1, especially if you have a collection built up over 6 years. Well, the good news is that a host of developers have already confirmed that they are updating the native PSVR 1 games with enhanced graphics and controllers. But then the natural question to then ask is, will I have to pay for the games that I already bought on my PlayStation VR 1? Do Sony offer cut prices to those who own the games and charge a small fee for the upgraded version? Or just do a straight up free upgrade if you own the game already? Because it could be another L if they try to charge £70 for the upgrade. There are weird instances of revamping games that have already been revamped. I'm not totally confident just yet, but that's just me being pessimistic a bit based on their previous behaviours. Reality is, I think some will be free and some will be charged, similar to what they're doing right now with the PS4 and PS5 upgrades. But is enhancing PS4 to PS5 the same as enhancing a VR game to the next game? Not gonna lie, I'm not technical enough to even answer that question. But you watching right now, if you understand what I'm talking about, do let me know. Be interested to know if there is a difference. Yeah, you, don't be shy. Either way, I see this as a key opportunity to not only retain its old audience and show these guys some good faith, but also bringing in a host of revamped VR games from the PSVR 1 just means a shitload of content for us to spend our money on. And if you like the content so far, you know what to do. Hit that like button, it's much appreciated, and guess what, it's free. And if you're interested in more content, you can hit that subscribe button as well. Yeah, you, don't be shy. I'll be honest, I'll be lying if I said I played the PlayStation VR 1 headset a lot. Yeah, I dabbled in it, but not enough to give a real deep overview. But from what I've heard, it had a decent game support function, some interesting games, and was actually quite comfortable and light. But still, thinking to back then, I didn't go for it at the time. I just felt like it was a prelude to real VR. It didn't do exactly as I said on the tin. Maybe because the tech wasn't there. Sure, Iron Man was there, but I didn't feel like there was a game on there which made me want to buy their headset in particular. This is where I hope PSVR 2 can step in. Like how I saved up all my pocket money to buy the N64 for Ocarina of Time, or the PlayStation 2 for Metal Gear Solid. Best investment ever. Now with the power of the PS5 and improvements to VR in general, the PSVR 2, I hope anyway, should be able to make this a reality. That means real deep VR experiences in true PlayStation games, not some gimmicks. I mean, I can list the titles I want right now, like Uncharted, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Red Dead Redemption, DC fucking God of Motherfucking War, The Witcher, Metal Gear, Shadow Colossus, The Last of Us, Doom. Let's just slow down a bit, be a bit practical. Maybe I'll focus on that in another video before I go overload mode. So overall, I think there are a couple of things that can be done in order to ensure the PlayStation VR 2 hits the ground running. Of course, Sony's a big name, right? So it has the games, it has the backing, and it already has an audience interested in the product. But I have to be careful to not piss them off, right? The backwards compatible stuff needs to be attacked properly, and the price needs to be aggressive in the sense it needs to compete with the Meta Quest 2 and the Pico 4. Because right now, there's a lot of competition. I do think the wireless function could be a big feature, strangely, So it'll be interesting to see if Sony picks this up and actually brings out 2 different versions to appeal to 2 different crowds. Either way, I'm excited and I can't wait to get hands-on with the actual product. What kind of improvements or what are you looking for the PlayStation VR 2 when it comes out? Let me know below. I'm out. If you found that interesting, you know what to do. Move that little mouse over, hit that click button. Thank you very much. And if you're feeling a bit courageous, you can hit that subscribe button as well and hit the notification bell. Anyway, I'll be in touch with you guys next week.